Jennifer Seeger, she was in the movie theater, in Theater 9 when this took place. Jennifer, thanks for joining me. I'm sure you must feel shell-shocked this morning. Describe what you saw.
Yeah, definitely. As far as I could see, I was in the second front row, and he had come in on the right side of me through an exit door. And he was about 4 or 5 feet away from me with a rifle, and that's what I saw was a rifle.
You saw him come in before he started shooting. You saw this person come in, Mr. Holmes,
yes,
or allegedly Mr. Holmes, come in the door. And what did you think when you saw him come in with a gun?
I thought that he was just part of like a prop or something, that he was just being theatrical, that it was just part of the show, since it was the midnight premiere. I didn't know that he was, seriously like a bad guy, you know what I mean? He came in and he was in full gear, because they have things in the movie like that, where they're dressed up kind of like that, and I didn't know. And then he threw the grenade or whatever it was of gas, and it exploded and there was all this gas. I thought that was a special effect. Nobody really knew what to think of it. And then he shot the ceiling, just straight up in the ceiling, and then everybody knew it was real at that point. And they just started, it was just straight chaos, everybody was starting to scream and run, and at that point he went straight from here to here with a gun in my face. At that point, that rifle was in my face, and I honestly didn't know what to think. I just instinctively jumped forward and ducked inside the, the middle of the aisle and just tucked in a corner. And after that, he was shooting people behind me, and I had like gun shells just, falling on my head, burning my forehead. All I smelled was powder, and it was just really terrifying. And I was telling my friends, I was like, just stay still until he walks up the stairs, because then we're just going to crawl and get out of here. We're going to get out of here. So he walks up the stairs, and all I hear is just gunshot after gunshot, and there's women and children screaming, and it was just really terrifying. And at that point, he was a really big guy. He was really terrifying. He was wearing a gas mask, and he had like a Kevlar kind of suit. He looked like a SWAT guy, as far as that goes. He looked like he was in the military. He was a SWAT guy. He had a vest on. He had...
About how long did this go on? Did you feel like this was going on? How long was he shooting? Was he spraying? Was he aiming? He was just shooting at random people that were trying to run away. If they got up out of the aisle, if they dove or anything, he was just shooting. He didn't have an agenda. It was just anybody that was in his way, he was just going to shoot. And I honestly can't tell you a time frame, but it felt like forever. And it was probably like 10-15 minutes in reality. But it was the most insane thing I've ever seen. There were little kids in there getting shot. Like 6-year-old kids, babies even. And I'm like, I'm 22 years old. Why? He spared me. Why me? You know what I mean? Like, don't take that little kid. Take me instead. Like, that was just like the hardest thing for me to see. And when I was crawling out, I was having a hard time breathing because of that tear gas or whatever he had put in through, and I was having a hard time breathing, and I was like, I'm gonna suffocate if I can't get out of here. So we were just crawling and crawling, and everybody that was trying to get out was apparently getting shot through the doors, the exit doors, and so they kept running back in, and it was just a back and forth thing. And I was one of the last people that got to leave as far as that goes. And on my way out, all I see is these dead bodies, and people that were just lifeless. Like a 14-year-old girl was on the stairs. You know what I mean? I don't know how old she was, but that's how old she was to me, and she was lifeless. And then on my way out, I bumped into this guy, and I have EMT training and fire training, and it was just my instinct to just want to save this guy. And I felt his pulse, and I realized that he hit a weak pulse, and he needed to get out there. So I was trying to pull him out. I was trying to drag him out as far as that goes. And right when I did that, everybody was like, no, the gunman's coming back. We got to go. So I just ran. I just ran for the hills as far as that goes. But in there, it was just pure chaos. This guy was just shooting one after the other. People say how many gunshots. I can't put a number on it. It's like 50s, 40s, I don't know. It was just, all you hear was screaming and just screaming and lots of gunshots. And it was just the most terrifying thing I've ever seen.